American Eagle, sending narcissists berserk. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Jeans, spelt with a J. Most people own at least one pair, although, interesting fact, my father never wore a pair of jeans in his entire life. But putting that to one side, I've got many pairs, I'm sure you have. And recently, a controversy has arisen in respect of a new advertisement starring Sydney Sweeney. Yes, the lady who's often known as a walking cleavage appears in an advertisement for a particular brand's jeans, and it's whipped up a right old storm. Let's have a look at the advertisement before we get into the body of what's been going on here.
Sydney Sweeney has Beserk jeans.
The utilization of two classic pieces of Americana, blue jeans and a Mustang motor vehicle, combined with an attractive young lady showing off her desirable backside as she smooths her hands, having tinkered under the bonnet, and gets into the Mustang and drives off. We're told that she has great genes. Understandably, there is the interplay on jeans spelt with a G and jeans spelt with a J, demonstrating that the beautiful Sydney Sweeney has good genes in terms of looking healthy and beautiful, and she also has great genes because she's wearing them from American Eagle. It's all pretty straightforward. The advertisement has got millions of dollars of free publicity as a consequence of the reaction that has come from it. It's been seen in Times Square. It has been talked about by mainstream media and social media around the world. Many people think, yeah, the jeans look really good. I might go and buy a pair. Or, yeah, she's attractive. I like the advertisement. It's short, it's simple, it gets to the point. Great piece of marketing. Other people have thought, well, I wasn't going to buy any, but as a consequence of the fact that so many people have got their knickers in a twist about it, I might just go and buy some. And indeed, American Eagle was selling out of jeans and their stock has soared. But there was also a reaction from a certain section of society that really didn't approve. There's lots of examples of this across social media, but I'm going to provide you with two now. One whereby a lady decides that it's appropriate for her to take to social media to complain about what has gone on and is seen sobbing, and another instance where there is an interview that takes place between somebody who's a presenter at LBC and somebody who's called in about it. I'm going to play both those videos for you so you can get a flavour of what's being said. I'm sure that you have come across other instances of this also, but these two videos are just a sample of the reactions from a certain section of society, which I'm then going to go on and discuss in greater detail next.
Yep, that got me too. And I don't know why. Maybe because it's just so blatant. I keep thinking that people just are not gonna believe us until we're hung out there, but then even then I feel like they'll be like, oh no. Kind of like they are with. I see the same perpetual self-imposed victimhood. You know, I did a post about saying, hey, like, these are the action steps that we really need to see from the good whites. Where I said, I need protection. Put my cash out. And she goes, well, would you just rather white women just not follow you at all anymore because da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, definitely unfollow me. If you thought you being here and clicking a follow button was doing me a favor, same as that one guy, whatever his name was, descendant of the oppressor. He's like, well, Lindsay still does a good job and I appreciate her work and labor, so I'm going to still follow her. No, definitely unfollow me. If you are any type of person, but especially a white woman who's coming to this platform thinking you're doing me a favor by clicking a follow button, leave now. Immediately now. Because honey boo boo, not this person, I'm doing you a favor by showing up and calling you out.
So the message that's communicated, you think, covertly in a way, is what? Sort of slightly dog whistle fascistic stuff?
I believe somebody made a mistake and made an oversight, did not consider the diversity of perspectives, and inadvertently, perhaps, although we know that marketing executives have been quite open about wanting to stir some kind of controversy with this campaign, I believe that they inadvertently made this implication and made that parallel between so-called good genes and offspring and the language of passing down these good or great features and this model whose initials, quite frankly, don't really benefit the kind of scandal.
Oh, come on.
That is,
oh no. Because her initials are SS.
True.
Okay, well, let's just give up and go home. Right, well, it seems from that the Nazis are back and they're trying to sell you genes.
Interesting reactions, I'm sure that you'll agree. The first individual who is calling on good whites to do something about the advertisement. And then the lady that was being interviewed provided a fantastic dollop of word salad and then decided that because Sydney Sweeney's initials are SS, that has some kind of Nazi link also. Preposterous, isn't it? Naturally, it's important to point out that not everybody who has reacted unfavourably to this advertisement is a narcissist. And the two individuals that I've shown reactions from, I can't say whether they are narcissists because I haven't analysed more of their behaviour over a sustained period of time. However, I have seen a range of reactions which undoubtedly will have come from narcissists. This is because, as I've mentioned in separate videos, there are certain narcissists that utilise a particular facade. This facade is one of empowerment, of tolerance. They preach that there should be equality, there should be equity, that people should be inclusive, that they should accept people from all different backgrounds, that you should tolerate somebody's differences, whether it's based on sexual preference, sexual orientation, colour of their skin, whatever it might be. These individuals have become the self-appointed arbiters of truth, of morality, of virtue. And doing so, of course, is a classic manoeuvre by the narcissist, because what it enables those individuals to do is to hijack a cause, to hijack a movement, to hijack a stance, and use it as a means to hammer people over the head to say, I am the voice of virtue and morality, and you should be inclusive. You should involve people. And in the circumstances, it isn't because they actually care about being virtuous or moral or empowering anybody. Not at all. They hijack these causes for their own use. You may recall years ago when Harvey Weinstein got into trouble and the hashtag Me Too movement sprang up. I spoke then about how there were narcissists within that movement, that they would utilise that movement for the purposes of their own aims, the subconscious pursuit of the prime aims. And it is the same here. Whether you call these people progressives or liberals, the label's irrelevant, but it attracts many narcissists because their narcissism convinces them that they are a person of truth and virtue and morality, And therefore, through this self-appointment, they are then able to assert control over people by being the self-appointed guardian of these traits. They draw fuel by way of people's reactions. They utilize this facade as a residual benefit. What they then do is they preach about tolerance and then they criticize a white woman because she's beautiful and confident, demonstrating that they aren't about tolerance. They're hypocrites. And you see this time and time again with certain individuals, whereby the rule is this. They are allowed to say what they like, but if you say something that disagrees with what they say, you're a hater, you're a racist, you're a despicable human being. And they demonstrate themselves to be rank hypocrites. Now, not every individual of that nature who behaves that way is a narcissist, but believe me, it captures many narcissists within it, typically those of the middle range type A variety, those that hold themselves out as holier than thou, and then they demonstrate their necessity for control, the need for fuel by their reactions to situations such as this. For too long, advertisements have catered to too wide a range of individuals that aren't necessarily representative of society as a whole. One understands why this has been done, because it's felt that there is an underrepresentation. But if you do that, you naturally run the risk of alienating many of your customers. Look what happened with Bud Light, with the use of Dylan Mulvaney. Look what happened with Jaguar, when they suddenly ignored their core market. Their sales absolutely plummeted. Just because a beautiful white woman has appeared in an advertisement, that doesn't mean that it's prejudice. It simply means here's a beautiful white person wearing jeans and she's got great genes. It's as simple as that. You can see that by looking at her. She's healthy and she's beautiful. And yet the uproar that has occurred, the fact that people feel the need to film themselves crying, it's a little bit like the videos that I made last November when Trump was elected, where certain narcissists immediately felt that it was necessary to tell the world all about their inner turmoil as a consequence of Donald Trump being elected. These individuals think that the world needs to know that their view about a jeans advertisement, that they're so upset by an advertisement. I mean, come on. But such sensitivity to such matters perhaps points to that hypersensitivity to the need for control. The necessity of speaking out, of immediately taking to social media to film yourself crying, or calling in a radio show to tell them, oh, well, the actress's initials are SS, so clearly American Eagle support Nazis. The sense of entitlement is pretty evident. This advertisement is that. It's an advertisement and a play on words. It's got millions upon millions of dollars of free publicity, so the marketing agency are no doubt wearing their red rim specs, pulling their ponytails into place and hoovering up the profits through their nose. And those at American Eagle are saying, brilliant. Everybody's talking about us, sales are up. What a fantastic campaign. It's worked. And there is that section of society which has assisted them by reacting in a ridiculous fashion. Some of those individuals do because they've nailed their colours to a particular mast and they see this as not fitting with their worldview. But understand, a significant number of those that have responded are narcissists, and they come from that section of society whereby they preach tolerance, they preach acceptance, and then all of a sudden hate towards a woman simply because she's beautiful. The fact is, their reactions as narcissists demonstrate the superficiality of their stance, that they simply don't care about other people. They don't care about empowering anybody. They don't care about tolerance. It's demonstrated by their need to tear other people down. The only people that they care about empowering are themselves, because it's linked to their narcissism. They claim that they are guardians of the truth, gatekeepers of morality, but they're not. These are just devices. that those particular narcissists cloak themselves in. And therefore, this advertisement and the reaction to it once again demonstrates how many of the reactions that you see will be coming from narcissists whose facade needs to be exercised, and their belief that they are right and everybody else is wrong results in the extreme reactions that many of you witnessed. I think we'll leave the last word to American Eagle themselves, who clearly don't give a rat's ass about the adverse reactions. The bottom line is all that matters, and they remain suitably defiant with regard to their stance. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for watching.